It's an easy way.
Okay.
It's an easy
Let me give you a point. I spoke to you about my father, right?
Yeah.
And he was, in my opinion, he was the wisest man I've ever come across. And he said to me this, and I believe this to be absolutely true, and I'll say this. He said, the worst thing the white man ever did for the black man is give him a whip. Give the black man the whip to beat another black man. Divide and conquer. So still right to this day now, you have the Bloods and the Crips. Everyone,
I think that's an easy way out.
Let me finish, please.
Do you know what I say about
Let me finish,
without
please.
any real point?
Please, let me finish.
Charlie.
That's
more
definitely
emotional.
my last thought. Don't get me into the mountain, please. This is the main point.
Give us some substance, please.
This is I'll tell you what the substance is, right? Instead of the black man hating the white man, the black man hated the black man. That was instead of the black man hating the white man who whipped him, he hated the black man. And that has gone on for centuries. It's gone on for centuries, George.
But that's not the narrative now, is it? It's the white man.
No, it's relative in the same manner now because it's gone on for years. Just in the same manner, like I said before. It is not the black man bringing all the drugs into the ghetto. It isn't. The ghetto was not created by black people.
Charlie.
It was not shit rolls downhill. It was not created by the black people.
Okay.
It was created by the black people ain't bringing shitloads of cocaine and heroin into this country. But they ain't got that kind of clout.
So why don't you just worry about why isn't it the other way around?
From having that kind
No, they're not.
What's stopping black people from having that kind of
the same thing that's stopping them right from being football managers and football directors and running things.
Okay.
Right? Power. They haven't got the power.
Okay.
And if they try to get the power, they're soon eliminated.
Give Martin a little speech on that one.
Do you think you've had more racism thrown against you than I have?
Absolutely.
Absolutely. Okay, well I can tell you this, right? I pay more for my electric bills, than people living in the same country as I live because of my race and colour. I pay more for my telephone bills. Yeah, I even paid more for my air tickets.
Then who? I'm lost on that one myself.
Well, I can tell you because I live in the Middle East. Yeah, half the year I live in the Middle East. I don't want to say which
I didn't
country.
know that. Okay.
I don't want to say which country, but
Yeah.
over there is real racism, and it's in your face. It's not this stuff that's kind of underground that nobody can ever point out. Like Charlie, he's not pointed actually anything out yet.
Are you stepping into religion a bit now, though,
No,
as
I'm
well?
not.
Culture.
No, I'm talking about government institutions where you are victimised because of your race and colour. Okay? Because you're from somewhere else.
Right.
So you can call it race or colour, the fact that you're from somewhere else. So I have been a real victim of racism. I continue to be a victim of racism. Do I let it get me down? No, I accept it because that's the country where I come from. Is it right? No, it's not. But do I get on with it? I get on with it. So when people say to you don't know anything about racism, I know a hell of a lot more than most people do. Because most people aren't going about racism. Half of them haven't even been out of this country.
No one's experienced.
They don't. So nobody's experienced. So you do get these blanket things chucked against you. And Charlie just said it then. You know, he has no doubt in his mind that he has been a bigger victim of racism than me. The difference is with me, I will actually point out where I've been a victim of racism. I can categorically say, I can actually prove it, it's in writing. I can't even buy a house over there, or certain houses over there, in my name, because I'm not from that country.
It'd be worse if you're a woman.
Well, exactly. So for Charlie to think that racism is one way, it's not. Tell me as a black person, Charlie, tell me a better country to live in for a black person.
It's the best country in the world. My dad told me, said that, and it's true.
Albania.
Yeah, England.
Oh, England. Okay.
It's the best country in the world.
Why is it so many black people and brown people and people of other colours want to come to this country if it's so racist?
Because it's the best country in the world.
I mean, that doesn't mean we shouldn't make it less racist. I think we should.
I think what's happened with this country is it's gone from one extreme to another extreme in a mad way. You'll have people in a mad way, and I see it all the time. You get people going, "Oh, yeah, all these bloody refugees and claiming benefits," and the people at the bottom of the run ain't the ones who are spoiling this country. It's the people at the top. It's the percentage at the top. The greedy percentage at the top that's fucking things. Not the people.
I strongly disagree on that one.
I don't. And for me now, I think.
You look at anywhere where there's a refugee settlement, the place is a mess.
I think sometimes things just, what goes around comes around. And I think this country has been here, there and everywhere and committed crimes.
You can't say Bolton's not changed since...
Bolton's horrendous. Bolton's shite now.
Why is it horrendous?
Bolton is horrendous, right, because they're letting loads of different people in, whatever,
you just said against
blah, blah.
that.
Yeah, but
you're missing that,
but not listen. Who lets them in? Are the refugees letting the refugees in? Who lets them in? People at the top. People at the top make the decisions, not people at the bottom, George.
No, but it's the people at the bottom who put the people at the top in.
Yeah, it's true.
No.
Well, it is. That's democracy.
No.
You vote for someone and rely on their words to represent you.
But we know
the percentage of the people at the bottom don't even vote. The percentage of the people at the bottom don't even vote, George.
Well, I would disagree with that as well. I mean, look at Labour. Look at the block vote for Labour.
The people at the bottom.
I mean, look at Bolton Council.
If that was the case, right, Labour would get in.
They bloody did. They were in for years.
They've not been in for years.
Recently.
They've not been in for years.
In Bolton Council recently has been like a coup.
The Tories have been in for what now? 12 years?
Look at Bolton.
12 years.
Not in Bolton.
They've been in for 12 years. 12 years.
Not in Bolton Council.
No, it's been predominantly Labour. This last election we got a few more. I think there's still one Labour, isn't there? We've got more Conservative MPs this time.
Yeah. Anyway,
Conservatives run Bolton.
Look, before it gets heated with beer and all the rest of it,
David Green answered them.
I've got an hour's worth of material there. Right? I'm going to have to chew through carefully. Just one basic question, as always, kind of giving me no answers. Why is it that black people are in the position they are, right, and white people are in the supposed position they're in?
Power.
Now, hang on.
Culture.
No, wait. No, it's even more basic than that.
It is.
The only difference is the colour, yeah, and the culture maybe, or where you come from.
It's not even the
Why isn't it?
It's
hang on.
Class.
Why isn't it the other way round? There's a good question for you. Answer me that, Charles, and then Mark can answer it.
I don't understand the question.
So I'll answer it then, and then he can answer off the back.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I do.
Okay.
So what he's saying is, why are white people the powerful ones, as coming from yourself? Which I agree with to some extent, but you'd expect that when it's a majority white country anyway. But why aren't black people the ones that are in power? Okay, so that's what he's asking. Okay. I'll answer that.
Okay.
What I will say to that is predominantly, black people, when they came to this country, they didn't come in as the hierarchy. They didn't come in as the top dogs. They didn't come in as the lords. They didn't come in as the middle class or upper class. They come lower down in society. They come in as the working class. Just like many white people are working class. Those white working class and black working class are in the same position. Very few of them are in the higher positions. Very few of them. So it's not about colour. It's not about colour at all. It's about class. It's absolutely about class.
Would you stretch your neck and say it's about education as well?
Oh, well, that's part of the system.
Because,
I mean, if you go
because
to
how
Eton,
far back do you go? You know,
well, if you go to Eton, you've got a lot more chance of being Prime Minister.
We as British have raided every country under the sun, haven't we?
No.
But why haven't black people or any other people?
I mean, black people were taking slaves from England before England was taking slaves from Africa. Of course,
true.
That doesn't want to get mentioned because it doesn't fit the narrative.
And the Irish, of course, were slaves.
Yeah.
Everybody else as well. So slavery's still going on in the Middle East.
Yeah, well, it is. I mean, I've seen it practically firsthand, believe me.
Yeah.
I've seen people working in these countries and they can't get out.
Right.
And they have to do the jobs without getting paid.
Yeah.
And if they step out of line, they get arrested. So I've seen real racism. Not this fluffy stuff that nobody ever can actually point out.
Right.
You know.
Right.
And so I've seen it firsthand. I tell you what, Charlie. I think if I was black, I think I would be quite successful in this country. I think I would. because of my mentality. Okay? I think you, as a black guy, have been very successful. Certainly more successful than most white friends I've got. And I can honestly say that about quite a lot of my black mates. They've all done quite well, actually. And I'd say, if I was to put a slider on it between my white and black mates who's done better, I'd say probably the black lads have done slightly better than the white lads as a whole. Of course, you're always going to get good and bad and idiots and all the rest of it. That's just the way society is.
It's a mix on
but
both sides.
There's been certainly nothing holding those guys down. Nothing that I have seen. Of course, like I said in the beginning, I don't see what they see. But I can say this. If people are being underground racist, then they would be underground racist to me when black people are around. Oh yeah, black guy, N-word and all the rest of it. You'd hear that all the time.
Yeah.
The fact is, you don't hear that.
You used to in the
You
early
did.
days.
You did used to do that. And I remember me and Charlie in the playground taking the mickey out of certain ethnic minorities because it was childish thing and it's what you did in those days. And it wasn't really seen as being racist. And
No.
you could say things there that you can't say now.
Yeah.
That's just the way it was. And it is from everybody.
Well, we've got a snip in the documentary about curry and chips. Do you remember that? It was a comedy programme with Kenny Lynch.
Oh yeah.
The black guy, you know,
Yeah.
they're saying go home, and he said, well, I live in bloody Watford,
Yeah.
you know.
Yeah.
So, but the thing is, and my point's connected to what you've just said, there was, I don't think, I could be wrong, someone watching this, but there was nothing meant grievously about it. It was like Paddy, the Irishman, the sheep fella, you know, from Wales, and the black guy. And that's it, and Bernard Manning and everyone was out there. And, but it wasn't literal racism.
No, it wasn't. It wasn't.
In my view.
And people have always taken the make out of different minorities. And it's just the way it is. And those minorities might even be Irish. So it's not even a race thing.
Right,
You know what I mean?
Let me end it on that. Charlie, it's just the way it is. Is that good enough for you or not?
I'm not saying it's just the way it is, by the way.
No. Some might say it's
my big thing is education and equality. And I would be lying if I said things haven't changed. Me and Martin grew up together and we've seen a lot of things and we've seen a lot of changes, especially in Bolton. And I would say, on one hand, I would say things have got better, and on the other hand, I'd say they look like they're getting worse, if anything.
I'd agree with things getting worse between the races. I'd say there's more race tension now than I've ever known in my life.
for sure. Yeah.
And I think it's been propagated by the do-gooders. Mainly I would say middle-class white people are the biggest ones of this. The people like who run the BBC and the mainstream media. They love a story about race.
Well, some people, say that's all being coordinated by the powers above, which could possibly happen like in Yugoslavia. They separated people, via religion, and there was civil war, and communism tried to push its nose back in. It could be the same thing. I don't know. I'm not.
I think.
Sorry, Charlie, go on. Can I just quickly say, I think the best way to get rid of racism is to do the opposite of what we're doing, right? And not stop talking about it.
Yeah, that's a point.
I think the more we talk about it, I mean, even introducing
you dig a bigger hole sometimes.
There was a thing about it. I saw this circle going around to schools about Black Lives Matter and how black people have been trodden down and all the rest of it. And I could imagine if I was a kid next to my black mate at 8-year-old thinking, all right, so you would have been my slave at one time. I think when we get into the playground, you're going to be my slave now. You know what I mean? I didn't know I had this. I didn't know I had an advantage over you until my teacher told me something.
No, that's
you know what I mean? I think that's where it's going. Honestly.
That is the most ridiculous statement.
Well, worse things have happened. You don't know.
That's the most ridiculous statement. And I want to finish on this. When I was growing up, I did not learn in school anything about slavery. I learned it off a program called Roots. I shouldn't have had to do that. I should have learned it from school because of the influence that slavery had on this country.
So the black slaves...
Just let me finish, Martin, please. Let me finish. Then you can have your point. You can have the last word. I know you like the last word. For me, when I watched Roots, it was devastating for me. And it wasn't about me going to school and people saying, you're going to be my slave. Even though, at that time, because of the climate,
And nobody would have said that to
everybody took the mick. Everybody took the mick.
Come to Kent.
Yeah, everybody was calling me come to Kinsey. Yeah. And
Well,
do you know?
what kids do?
And do you know what? And do you know what?
You just call me Elvis.
And do you know what? For me, I listened to so many times in school, Hitler, the World War One, World War Two. At least we forget. It seems that we forget a lot. What we want to forget and sweep under the carpet. So
I don't think anybody's forgot about slavery.
That's my point.
I don't think anybody's forgot about slavery.
Here's a question that upset you, and I'll ask it again on the risk of you knowing that I don't mean it from my heart. Why are you any closer to slavery, what happened in America, to me, other than your colour? You've got no connection to slavery.
He's a beneficiary of slavery. He's actually a beneficiary of slavery.
Do you know what that statement is like?
But
that statement is like.
Yeah, I know.
That statement, right, is
Yeah.
like. That statement is like me saying, "Oh, because
So
that
how many generations?
because that lion was
Do you
born,
know?
because that lion was born in London
No,
Zoo.
stop being fluffy, Charlie.
And I'm not being fluffy at all. I'm being me. That's how it is. Like it a lumpet. Yeah? Because that lion was born in London Zoo, right? It isn't really a lion. So I can go in and I'll pet it and it'll be my friend. Yeah? Go in and do it. It's as close to me, right? Because I am a lion, right? And from generation to generation to generation to generation, that's where I'm. But just like if I was a bird, I'd shit in the woods. That when the slave when I saw roots, right, I was come to Kinsey.
Listen.
I was, because I could relate to everything, even though I was never there. I've never been to Africa.
No, what I meant is, have you got a family line that have been slaves?
Yeah,
Probably.
Yeah, probably. Although it doesn't know direct.
Probably, but it doesn't matter. That does not matter. It doesn't matter. What matters is.
So your connection is your culture.
What matters is. When I see come to Kinsey, I see my dad, I see my brother. When I see Kizzy, I see my sister, I see my mum.
Okay.
And that is a connection.
That's a good answer.
That is a connection. Yeah. And when I see that, right, and then I see and I've experienced the fact that somebody looks at me in a manner when I've never done nothing wrong to them, right, with hatred and disdain, it guts me. It guts me, and it's gutted me all my life. And just like the antelope has that fear and has that instinct of when it's in danger, that's what I feel like. I feel like I'm the antelope, and you guys are the lions.
Okay.
And I've got to be on my toes.
Right, well, that's a fair comment. Do you think that's in a very emotional...
I think it's just the truth. It's a fact. It's how I feel.
Charlie.
It's how I feel, and I know for a fact it's how most black people feel.
Okay, well, that's a fair comment. I'll take that. Right, last word now, Martin.
Okay, so why
Very last word.
I don't want you having the last word.
why don't I feel that same way about the Romans and the Vikings?
Or my Irish ancestors who were slaved.
Yeah, why don't I feel the same way? Why am I not carrying that chip on my shoulder?
It's a chip now, is it?
You told me what
It's a chip.
Oh, well, I actually
finish it up properly.
Okay, tell me who didn't watch Roots, whether you're white or black, didn't feel for consequences.
I felt emotional over Roots.
Exactly. Everybody felt emotional on Roots when that first came out. It was so powerful, and everybody was on consequences' side, you know, and everybody was. The difference is, we had white skin. That's it. I think we all went through the same emotions watching that, whether it was white or black.
Okay.
Maybe not, I don't know, but maybe not. But I certainly do. When I see the Romans and the back, I actually got this.
I'm an atheist. I get emotional over the crucifixion.
Well, I do as well, and that's another. Religion is another one. We should have this conversation another day.
Oh, not with them.
But
you feel like blood brothers. You think, Christ almighty.
This here, this like, it's something in my hands that I can't get rid of, and it's a genetic thing. From the Vikings, they call it a Viking gene, and I've got this on.
That's what you were nailed to cross.
Yeah, maybe. But it seems somewhere along my ancestors.
Are you serious now with this hand thing?
No, I'm not. It's quite common. It's about 1 in every 20 white people have this thing. It's a growth in the gristle of your hands. But it comes from one actual genetic.
Comes from masturbation.
And it's from the... let me have a look at your ones. But it comes from the Viking gene.
Okay.
So we've all been victims of oppression at some time. If we go back to our ancestors.
We're all victims right now.
Yeah. You're victims of, is it called Bex? Right, thanks for that, guys. Enjoy your drink.